So I'm removing the upper part of the fan shroud. Look at these things. They're pretty long. Okay. See. Well, oh, there it is. Look at that. It's all hidden. Okay. Can you tell I've never taken one of these off? You know what? There's many things I've never done. Especially on cars. It's impossible to know everything. Or to even pretend that I've worked on every single make and model. You know, that's the beauty of working on cars. It's an endless, never-ending learning experience. Wow, this side wasn't attached. This side wasn't attached. Well, okay. Ouch. Alright. So, didn't have a screw right here. We're gonna have to find one. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like those bolts need to be removed. Yeah, looks like. $13 millimeters. This is gonna have to come off. Looks like a 10. This is what I don't like. Why 10 millimeters here, and then there's this plastic cover that has a plastic rivet? Why?
State Farm, the purple confessed. I think.
What?
Oh, can't afford streaming anymore, so we are.
Gotta unplug everything here. Headlights. Remove this harness. Man. Oh, come on. I have the camera on my forehead, so I don't know if the angle is right. Headlight. More plastic rivets. Why? Why couldn't they just put a couple screws? That would have been just fine. I hate these things. Well, at least it's out of the way so I can stick a wrench right in there. Oh. How about we just remove it completely? Plastic attached to plastic. Man. Come on, get out of there. Just throw that in there. Five days from now, a week from now, I'm gonna look at all these parts and I'll be like, where the f did that come from? Random piece of plastic. van that is detached. Okay, I need to remove this. It clearly seems that this is detached. Okay, I'm gonna get this piece out too. Man, that thing broke. Just toss it in there. That's the cool thing about working on vans, right? It's the only cool thing. There's plenty of rooms for you to throw the parts inside. Okay. So this bracket has a 10mm, well, this one was supposed to have a 10mm bolt attached to it. It wasn't there. I crawled under the car just to remove the one that was attached to right there, and it looks like it'll come out of there. I still need to remove these lines. So much corrosion, man. Can't even tell where the U-clip is. Can kind of see it now. Maybe some PB blaster will eat up some of that rust. Just let it soak through. Meanwhile, I need to drain the antifreeze. Also, we have more cooler lines right here. Usually I can remove them really easy with this. Okay. And it's off. Let's see if we get lucky with the lower one. And I got it. Look at that. Am I still recording? I forget. Am I really recording? Yeah. Come on. Oh man. Come on. I got a couple of customers come by and I got interrupted, pretty much lost a couple hours. It's starting to get colder, and I'm losing daylight, so I'm gonna use the last 30 minutes wisely. So I'm having a hard time getting this line off, removing this line from the cooler. It's too corroded. I can't even pull the little clip out of there. So it's gonna stay there for now. I'm thinking I'm gonna just move it to the side, use a bungee cord and just attach, just keep it on the side like that. And right here I got this cooler lines also. These were not too bad actually. So these are out, that one's out underneath there. There's little ones too. Bottom one, upper hose, lower radiator hose. So yeah, this whole front part is pretty much detached already. I'm just gonna push this line through. So that'll be it. And this, I'm just gonna move it aside. Yeah. Oh man. Fun. so much easier. Well, all I'm doing now is just unplugging everything, because pretty much everything's gonna have to come off. Gotta remove the ground that's on the thermostat housing. Gotta remove all the hoses. There's a ground. There's another ground right here. Goes to the block. From the block to the chassis. $15mm. We'll just leave this hanging. Actually, look. This is the main battery. Main ground for the battery. There it goes, right there. They go together. Throttle cable. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in time-lapse mode, and yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna remove pretty much everything. It's gonna have to come off anyway. This is gonna have to be removed anyway to be bolted onto the new engine. I'm gonna remove all this, and I'm gonna take the intake manifold completely out of there so that the cherry picker has more room to grab the engine, and so I can pull it out of there. So yeah. Something I'm really having issues with is this dipstick tube for the transmission. It's like so long. I don't want to bend it, and it looks like it's a two-piece. It looks like it slides into this, but it's so rusted in there. I'm having a hard time separating it. So I'm gonna suggest to replace this pump and the lines. That's very accessible right now, and it's not in the greatest shape, but in the end it's all up to the customer if he wants to spend the money. So I removed the return lines, these two right here, and this. Actually, these were pretty hard to take off. They're so stuck on there. I'm surprised that this one broke loose as easy as it did. What's up, kitty? Comfortable? So I'm gonna remove the distributor. Ouch. I have the fuel lines undone right here. Yeah, basically I'm just unplugging everything. So basically what I'm gonna do right here, I'm just gonna unplug everything. Gonna pull the distributor out. There's some ground wires. There's this one right here. It's a ground wire. Goes back here, right there at the head. There's another one right here, so there's two. I have to mention the grounds because they are very important and they're really easy to forget. Well, also I got lucky breaking this one loose right here. This, I used a 1-inch wrench. I did spray some PB blaster on there, but I really don't think it even penetrated. I don't think sometimes that even penetrates on certain things, but it's worth a shot. So I removed the 8 13mm bolts that are holding this intake manifold. Everything's unplugged. Basically had to loosen up this valve cover, and right now I'm just making sure everything is unplugged. Let's see. Okay, there's this harness. I have to undo the motor mounts. What do I have left? Motor mounts, bell housing bolts, flywheel bolts, and I have to remove the starter in order to access the bell housing, the flywheel bolts. So, yeah. Oh, and the exhaust. Both banks. So most of the bell housing bolts I was able to remove from up here. Bell housing bolts they're all removed. I'm working on the flex plate. these engine oil cooler lines. I think I'm going to leave them attached to the engine, and I'm just gonna pull the engine with those hoses attached. So I'm gonna suggest to replace all of these lines, man. I mean, everything's so oily, you know. I wouldn't doubt if these things are leaking. It's hard to say, you know. It could all be power steering fluid too. Such a mess. I have the bolt that goes through the motor mount on each side. It's been removed. Bell housing bolts, flex plate and torque converter bolts. So basically right now the engine is just sitting right here. Okay, yeah. I was suspecting this already, but I wanted to give it a try anyway. The engine mounts are gonna have to be completely removed so this bracket clears. All right. Yes.